Amaero is developing a critical metals alloy power manufacturing facility in Tennessee, USA, targeting high-value powders for mission-critical defense, aerospace, and space applications. Amaero is ramping up production, has also secured a $6.5 million 13-month US Department of War contract, and also started the current financial year with a backlog 125% above last year. I'm joined today by Chairman and CEO Hank Holland to discuss the company's US manufacturing opportunity, defense contract, production ramp up, and pathway towards an IPO on the Nasdaq. Hank, welcome to the Stock Network.
Thank you, Lil.
Now, Hank, Amaero is scaling its Tennessee facility for defense and aerospace. Can you outline for us what you think makes the US market attractive, and also how do you think that this facility will scale?
Thank you again for the time and the interest. We began this expansion and the investment in our facility 3 years ago. We announced the relocation to Tennessee, July of 2023. We just completed a $50 million US, or about $75 million Australian capital investment plan over 3 years. That has provided us now with the largest US domestic scale production capacity of titanium powders as well as refractory powders used in 3D printing. And as you said, quite often for defense applications, as well as space, nuclear energy, things such as that. If you look at the opportunity that we have in the US today, many other companies are just beginning that investment effort, just beginning to scale, but it is very much a now opportunity with the hard-charging Department of War and trying to scale production requirements immediately, as opposed to 2 or 3 years from now. We think it positions Amaero very uniquely.
Now, if we look at winning those defense contracts, you have secured that $6.5 million US Department of War contract. Looking at that in more detail, what does this mean for Amaero, and also what could follow on from here?
So Department of War contract was a wonderful thing for Amaero. It further, I think, reaffirms our close partnership and the important resource that we are for our country and Department of War. It is for the development of refractory powders. As you know, we have the most advanced atomization technology in the world, the IGA Premium, that is well suited for refractory powder. So we're thinking about tantalum, tungsten, niobium, moly, things such as that. And these are particularly important for high temperature applications. So think about thermal protection systems of defense systems. Think about also propulsion systems of space systems. And so it positions us at that fulcrum of doing development for the Department of War that in turn will go into production. Just the same, about a month ago, we also announced a contract with BPMI. BPMI is the sole prime defense contractor for naval nuclear, as in naval nuclear submarines. So again, a very important collaboration. It was in fact the 7th contract that we've had with BPMI, albeit the very first that we've announced. The first 6 contracts over the last couple of years we did not announce. We felt it was important to do that work in stealth while we were doing development and qualification work with Bechtel.
And Hank, finally, your plans to IPO on Nasdaq. You have completed redomiciliation from Australia to US Delaware and also announced plans to IPO on Nasdaq. What is the reasoning for the move to the US and Nasdaq?
So today we're a US company, right? We had very loyal support, which we're very appreciative of ASX shareholders who've been on the ASX since we IPO'd. At the very same time, today, all of our staff are in the US, all of our facilities are in the US, all of our production's in the US, and all of our customers are in the US. And so it made sense, as we announced earlier this year, to complete a redomiciliation from Australia to Delaware, to complete a PCAOB audit, which is required for a listing in the US. And we recently announced that, in fact, we have confidentially submitted a registration statement with the SEC called an S1, and that is a precursor document to doing an IPO. Lastly, I would say not only are the end markets and our customers in the US, but many of the projects we're working on are classified. An important consideration of those projects is something called FOCI, or Foreign Ownership Control and Influence. And so the fact before, as an Australian company, we had a board of 7 with 2 Australian directors as required. We recently announced those 2 directors have resigned. Today we have a board of 5 exclusively comprised of US residents. And again, this is important to satisfy FOCI and other considerations for classified projects with the Department of War.
Hank, thank you for the update on Amaero and all the best for the transition.
Thanks again.